In this week's episode, she helps the new generation stay in touch with their roots. But first, when it all seemed hopeless, he took a giant step towards fulfilling his potential. University students across South Africa are writing their end-of-year examinations. Among them is Letlhogonolo Mafela. This Northwest University student is exceptional, receiving awards for getting distinctions. His special abilities attracted the attention of top South African musician Double HP, who invited Letlhogonolo to write and record a song with him. Amazingly, this 21-year-old is achieving all of this, writing with his mouth and toes. He was born without arms. In the winter of 1992, a small rural village in the Northwest prepared for the arrival of a new resident. But when the day finally came, it wasn't quite what everyone had expected. Letlhogonolo Mafela was born without arms.
Because haragane go bokete mare o tla tloela mo tsamoya nako gore ke ngwana o mohileng ke modi ile go ntsa nako gore ke amogele se ke se bona mare mo tsamoya nako be ke iplela gore mare ke mpho e tsong go modimo ga gona gore nka decide gore nka ira.
Already a mother of two, Radifeli now had the extra burden of caring for a disabled little boy.
Ore go mogodisa go ne go le bokete ka gore ke ne ke sa bereke le papa gagwe ka nako ena a sa bereke ere family ya kwa ga e sentse le family e ko tlase thata isi e kopane le matsholo a go bereka.
In 1998, Letlhogonolo began his primary education at a special school in Joburg, where he learned to write with his mouth and feet. But when his aunt couldn't look after him any longer, his mother moved him to a mainstream school in Mafikeng.
I remember one day when I was in primary school, it was my first time going to school with physically abled people. My first time, Elliot and I, when I first came the gate, and entered the gate at the school, there was a group of young girls sitting there, they were looking at me "Bona hana maso." So that really stabbed into me. That really hurted me a lot. Am I gonna able to survive in the school?
Letlhogonolo struggled to do things most people take for granted.
Ke mo rutile ka jaaka bana ba bangwe gore ke ile ka motsagela gore Letlhogonolo ha ke tlo go tsaya ka tsela e ke go bonang wena o batla go tefa gore maybe ke sotse ke go tseja jaaka ngwana o e leng gore wena o batla go itlhaolela mo ke tlo go tsaya ke go tseja mo gare ga bana ba ke na le bone ngwana o mollo mongwe o na le phosho le wena o sontse itse gore phosho ya gago hala ka ke betsa ngwana mo le wena so se ke go rute gore botshelo bo ya kae ha ke tlo go tsaya ke re Letlhogonolo ga ana mabogo a dirile phosho ka se nnitse.
You need to accept yourself for who you are. If you can't accept yourself for who you are, don't accept somebody to accept you for who you are, no matter what they say about you.
Fortunately, Letlhogonolo always had good friends at school who helped him with personal things like going to the bathroom. In 2011, he wrote his matric. Letlhogonolo passed with flying colors, becoming a top student at his rural school. He received an award from the Northwest Education Department, who offered to pay for his university studies.
Yeah, it was exciting at the same time, but at the same time also having a different concept for it. I'm leaving high school. My friends will no more be there with me, like the way they used to assist me in high school. I'm going to a different world. Will I be able to cope in that world?
Despite his concerns, he survived. Today, Letlhogonolo is a second-year information systems student at the University of the Northwest. He recently received the Rector's Special Award for getting 5 distinctions. At the same time, the 21-year-old is nursing his childhood dream of becoming a musician. His special abilities attracted the attention of award-winning South African artist Double HP.
What really moved me was like this boy's spirit, like besides his obvious disabilities, like he's just managed to do so much more that able-bodied people haven't been able to do, thus far, from achieving in his studies to his approach on life. One of the things when we did the song together, he wrote his verse, and one of the things that I heard on his verse was, the doctors or the nurses giving the mother the option to leave him behind, and I kept thinking, like, my word, like, what would have happened to this boy had they left him behind?
Ne ke re batho itseng gore mo botshelong ha o kopana le dikgwetlho tse kopaneng le tsone ga se bokhutlo ba lefatshe botshelo bone o bo tsweletse go ya pele ba ikgotatse ka gore re ikgotatsa ka mmeo leo mago Letlhogonolo mo ileng a tsaya di-challenges tsa gore a godise ngwana mo tseye dikolo a sa mo tsaya mo fitlhe ya ka botsadi bo sa batle go itse gore matshelo a bana ba bona ya kae.
Absolutely remarkable. Well done, Letlhogonolo. Send us your feedback and let us know what you think. Against all odds at enca.com. You can also be in touch with us on Twitter and Facebook. Still to come, keeping the digital generation in touch with their roots.